Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 12th of October 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application named as Careers Cloud and you can download from the description box link. After that, you have to log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but we are covering the most important and the very important questions which can come in every type of exam. This is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is the detail, second is question and answer format, third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Next and the most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is the detailed current affair, second is the question and answer format of current affairs, next best 100 current affair, that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs before your exam in quick format. But to increase your efficiency in the exam, we are also providing 20 most important topics wise PDF, and you can revise these PDFs before your exam if you want to revise particular topic. So these are very important. And if you are a student of banking, then we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on monthly basis. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And if you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are also providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also, expected question and answer will be provided so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing state current affairs and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But the most important thing, if you're a new student, you're just starting your preparation, then I'm advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And on both the subscriptions, we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start today's current affair, that is 12th of October 2021. But I'm again requesting you all the students that who are watching this video, please like this video, please share this video at least to your one friend, and please subscribe this channel before proceeding to the next question. Please subscribe now and join our Telegram group from the description box link for future notification. And here is the first question in the most important question section. What is the rank of India in the Henley's Passport Index 2021? So this is the most important index, and this is Henley's Passport Index 2021, and according to this, India's rank is 90th. So remember, answer of this question is A. So according to the Henley's Passport Index 2021, which was released by Henley's and Partners, which is headquartered in London. So one organization who released this index, it is Henley's and Partners, and name of index is Henley's Passport Index 2021, headquarters is in London. And India rank has slipped by 6 places. So remember, India's rank slipped by 6 places to 90th from 84th in the Q2 of financial year 21. Earlier, India was placed on the 84th place, but now India was placed on the 90th place. So it means India slipped by 6 places. And India allowing its passport holders and other countries also allowing its passport holders to travel 58 countries without visa. So you can just remember that India share its 90th rank with 2 countries. One is Tajikistan, and second country is Burkina Faso. So you can just remember that India shares 90th rank with other 2 countries. One is Tajikistan, second is Burkina Faso. And the index has been topped by 2 countries. One is Japan and Singapore. And as they allowed travel visa free to 192 countries to their passport holders. So this is very important because these 2 countries allowed their citizens to travel visa free to 192 countries. So this is very important. And this is the 3rd consecutive year that Japan has grabbed the top spot. So now 2 countries, Japan and Singapore. And the ranking are based on the data analysis provided by the International Air Transport Association, which is also known as IATA, and it cover almost 227 destinations and 199 passports. So very important, India's rank is 90th, and the least rank goes to Afghanistan. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Pakistan and Yemen are amongst the least powerful passport countries. So remember, Afghanistan is on the least, top is Japan and Singapore on first position both, and India's 90th rank with Tajikistan and the Burkina Faso. So remember this. So you move into next question, but you can also see here India ranked 90th in the Henley's passport index, ranks 1 Japan and Singapore. Next is, which of the following is not awarded with the Nobel Prize in Economic Science 2021? Recently, the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics, and this prize is not given to Elinor Ostrom. So D is the answer, because we are asking that not awarded. So these three personalities awarded with the economic Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences 2021. One is David Card, belongs to Canada. You have to remember the origin country. Joshua de Angrist, and he belongs to United States of America, and W. Embens, or you can say Guido W. Embens, belongs to Netherlands. So these three personalities, you have to remember, won the economic science in the Nobel Prize in Economic Science in 2021. You can see the three pictures. One is David Card. You have to remember, from Canada, and he won this award for his you can say contribution to the labor economics. And Joshua D. Angrist, and the third person is Guido W. Embens or Imbens, and both won for their methodological contribution to the analysis of causal relationships. So two were awarded for the causal relationship, and one is awarded for the labor economics. And the Academy has decided to award one half of the prize, like 5 million, you can say Swedish krona, to this David Card, and Joshua and Guido will receive 5 million. It means 2.5 million Swedish kroner will be received by Joshua, and other 2.5 million will be received by Guido. And the other name you can see here, Elinor Ostrom, very important lady, because she won the prize in 2009 and became the first female to win the prize in economic science. Again, very, very important. And remember, in 2019, Esther Duflo became the second woman who won the Nobel Prize in Economics. So remember, the first woman is Elinor Ostrom, who won the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2009, and second woman is Esther Duflo, who is the wife of Abhijit Banerjee, and who also won the 2019 Economics Prize. So you have to remember this important data. Move to next question. Who became the first Indian woman to win a silver medal at 2021 World Wrestling Championship? First of all, you have to remember, this championship was held in which country? So this was hosted by Oslo. It means I am talking about which country? I am talking about Norway. And the first Indian woman is Anshu Malik. So answer of this question is A. So this is the 17th edition of World Wrestling Championship of 2021, which was held in Oslo, Norway. Earlier, Anshu made her debut in the Olympics and has now become the first woman in the history to win this silver medal in wrestling world. And you can also remember, Sarita Moore bags the bronze medal in 59 kg category at the World Wrestling Championship of 2021. And with this win, Sarita Moore became the sixth Indian woman wrestler to win a bronze medal at the World Championship, but only silver medal was won by Anshu Malik, but bronze medal won by 6 women. One is Sarita Moore, and other are like Alka Tomar, Vinesh Fogart, Geeta Fogart is there, Babita Fogart is there, 3 Fogart family here, Pooja Danda is there. So these are the other 5 players, and 6th one is the Sarita Moore. So remember, till date, Sushil Kumar is the only Indian to win the world champion wrestling in 2010. So just remember, Anshu Malik, the first Indian woman to win a silver medal at the World Wrestling Championship. Very important question. So you can see here 2021 World Wrestling Championship, which was held in Oslo. Exactly, you have to remember Oslo, or you can just remember the name of the country, and Anshu Malik is the name. Moving to next section, it is our very important question section, but you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. Question is, which state or union territory launched Desh Ke Mentor program to provide career guidance to the students? So this program we earlier discussed because Sonu Sood, actor Sonu Sood, is the brand ambassador of this Desh Ke Mentor program, and this is launched by Union Territory of Delhi. So answer of this question is B, and it is launched by Arvind Kejriwal. So Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, has launched the Desh Ke Mentor program, which enables the citizens who are successful in respective fields to provide guidance on the career choices to the students of the Delhi government schools. Remember, it is only for the government schools of Delhi. And as a part of this initiative, interested citizens can adopt 1 to 10 students of Delhi government schools and mentor them in an interested field. So it is just to provide the guidance for their career, for their respective career choices. So you have to remember, Sonu Sood is the brand ambassador of this Desh Ke Mentor program. Next is, what is the name of India's largest naval exercise, which is scheduled in February 2022? Again, very important question. And India's largest naval exercise is Milan exercise or Milan exercise. And it was scheduled to be hosted by Indian Navy in February 2022. And 46 countries, this is huge, 46 countries have been invited to attend this exercise. And remember, this exercise will include the participation of all the Quad countries. It means Quadrilateral Security Dialogue countries. And the Quad countries include India, United States of America, Australia, and Japan, in which the USA is being invited for the first time. USA is invited for the first time. So that's why Quad countries basically participating in this exercise first time. And you all know Quad in-person meeting. First in-person meeting was hosted by United States of America, Joe Biden. And remember about exercise Milan. It is a biennial multilateral naval exercise conducted by Indian Navy, and it was started in the year of 1995. And it is to bring together the navies of all the countries in the Indian Ocean region. And so far, the exercise was conducted in the Port Blair in the Andaman and Nicobar. But now it is being shifted to Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. And remember, it is for more space and infrastructure. That's why it will be held in Visakhapatnam in February 2022. And remember, Chief of Naval Staff is Admiral Karambir Singh. So just remember this. Moving to next question, but you can see here, Indian Navy to host its largest exercise named as Exercise Milan. It will be hosted by India in the Visakhapatnam area, and it will be hosted in February 2022. And how many countries will participate? 46 countries will be participated. Next, 2021 ISSF Junior World Championship was held at which place? Again, we are talking about one championship, and it is International Shooting Sport Federation. International Shooting Sport Federation, and it was held in Lima. Answer of this question is D, and exact place is Peru. So you can just remember the name of the country also, Peru. It is South American country in South America, and Lima is the capital of Peru. And India finished in the 2021 International Shooting Sport Federation Junior World Championship at the top, because you can see here, India ends ISSF Junior World Championship with 43 medals and tops the table. So you have to remember, total out of 43 medals, you have to remember 17 were gold, 16 were silver, and 10 were bronze. And the United States of America ranked second in the medal tally with 21 medals. But India has 43 medals. Out of 43, 17 are gold, 16 are silver, and 10 are bronze. So this total becomes 43. And second rank goes to United States of America. Total medals are 21. But you don't have to remember all the players' name, because total 17 golds are there. So don't remember any name. Just remember one name. That is important. This is Dhanush Shrikant. So Dhanush Shrikant belongs to Hyderabad, Telangana, became the first Indian and the only shooter in the world with hearing and speech impairment to win a gold medal in the regular ISSF World Championship. So this is important. Dhanush Shrikant from Hyderabad or Telangana. So remember, International Shooting Sport Federation Junior World Championship Rifle Pistol Shotgun held in Lima, Peru. Exact place and total medals, India won 43. India is in the top in the countries list. USA is on the second spot. And remember, Dhanush Shrikant. So So now we are moving to next question. Who won Turkish Grand Prix 2021? Again, very important question, and the name is now new name here, Valtteri Bottas or Valtteri Bottas. So remember, Valtteri Bottas won the Turkish Grand Prix 2021, which was held in Istanbul Park in Turkey, and the victory was his first since the Russian Grand Prix of 2020. Earlier, he won Russian Grand Prix in 2020, in September 2020, but now he won the Turkish Grand Prix 2021. His Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton finished on the fifth place. And lost the Formula One championship lead to the Red Bull's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is on the second position and Sergio Perez is on the third position. So remember, Turkish Grand Prix is basically won by Valtteri Bottas. And very important, and the next race is US Grand Prix. This is important. US Grand Prix will be held on 24th of October. We will definitely cover this question on 25th or 26th of October. Moving to next question. You can also see here the picture of Valtteri Bottas wins the Turkish Grand Prix as Verstappen retakes championship lead, because Verstappen is on the second position and Lewis Hamilton is on the fifth position. There is a 3 position difference between these two world-class players. Next is, what is the theme of International Day of the Girl Child 2021? Again, very important. The United Nations International Day of the Girl Child has been annually observed across the globe on 11th of October. How you can remember? Because 11th of October, Amitabh Bachchan birthday is there. So that's why you can remember 11th of October is also the International Day of Girl Child 2021. And it is to highlight the need to address the challenge faced by girls across the globe. And the theme is digital generation, our generation. So remember, A is the answer. And the day also promotes the employment and fulfillment of the human rights of girl child. And the day is celebrated by the United Nations Women. This is the parent organization of United Nations, along with the other United Nations agencies, civil societies, and the girl across the globe. Remember the theme, digital generation, our generation. You can also see here International Day of the Girl Child, 11th of October 2021. How you can remember? With the birthday of Amitabh Bachchan. That Amitabh Bachchan is doing so many things to save the girl child. So you can just remember by this line. Next is, recently Abul Hassan Bandisar passed away, and he was the first president of which country? So just remember the name and remember the name of the country. Name of the country is Iran. Answer of this question is C. And he died in Paris, France, where he lived for decades after fleeing his country, and he was 88 years old. He was impeached by newly formed Islamic Parliament in 1981, and he lived in hiding for some time, and later he was smuggled out of the country. So answer of this question is Iran. That's why this person was very important. Abul Hassan Bandisar was the first president of Iran after the, you can say, revolution of 1979 in Iran. So he became the first president of Iran after the 1971 revolution, but 1979 revolution, but he was impeached in 1981, and he lived in hiding for some time, and later he was smuggled out of the country. And remember about Iran, now president is Ibrahim Raisi. Remember, Ibrahim Raisi. And capital is Tehran, currency is Iranian Riyal. You can also see here the picture, Abul Hassan Bandisar, Iran's first president after 1979 revolution, passed away. Next is, which of the following is recently recognized as the fundamental right by United Nations Human Rights Council? So again, very important question, because we are talking about very important organization, United Nations Human Rights Council, and clean and healthy environment, accessibility of clean and healthy environment is recognized as the fundamental right by United Nations Human Rights Council. And the council encourages states to adopt, or the countries to adopt, policies for the enjoyment of the right to safe, clean, healthy and sustainable environment, and invited the General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly, to consider this matter. Because as per the data of the World Health Organization, 24% of the global deaths, around, you can say, 13.7 million deaths every year, are linked to the environment due to risks such as air pollution, chemical exposure, etc. But all things are related to environment, and 24% deaths occur due to this problem. So this is very huge thing. So we have to focus on that. So that's why accessibility of clean and healthy environment is now a fundamental right according to the United Nations Human Rights Council. And this is also said by Supreme Court of India that it is a state duty to provide clean and healthy environment to the citizens of the country. So it is basically comes under Article 21, which is right to life and personal liberty. So it is right to life under Article 21. So United Nations right body right to clean environment is a human right. And you can also remember about UNHRC. It was established in 2006. Its headquarters is in Geneva. And its president is Najat Shamim Khan. Najat Khan, you can just remember. Next is who authored a book named Quest for a Stable Afghanistan, a View from Ground Zero. It means this book tells us about the real situation of the Afghanistan, and it was authored by Sujit Sarkar. Answer of this question is D. He also wrote a book that is very famous. Name of the book is In Search of a New Afghanistan. So these books can be asked because of insurgency in the Afghanistan. So that's why it can be asked. In Search of a New Afghanistan and Quest for a Stable Afghanistan, a View from Ground Zero. Both books are written by Sujit Sarkar. So it provides a detailed account of how the faulty policies of the West have put Afghanistan on the deeper and increasingly worrisome crisis. And the war in the Afghanistan has been raging for 20 years. 20 years. Even you can say 3 times more than the duration of the World War II. So that's why this book is Quest for a Stable Afghanistan, and how the faulty policies of the West have put Afghanistan on the deeper and the increasingly worrisome crisis. So name of the author is Sujit Sarkar. Both the books are very important. Next, India and which country signed 2 agreements to boost cross-border train services? So answer of this question is Nepal, and B is the answer. So India and Nepal have signed 2 agreements worth rupees 3.15 billion USD. And both agreements aimed at boosting cross-border train services and to improve regional connectivity and trade. And the proposed rail line as counter to China bid to expand railways up to Kathmandu. And India and Nepal are mulling at least 5 different cross-border railway lines. So India want to establish a relation with Nepal so that they can tackle China. So this is main concern. So remember about Nepal. President is Vidya Devi Bhandari, and capital is Kathmandu. Currency is Nepalese rupee. So you can also see here India-Nepal science agreement to cross border. It will be very helpful for the trade as perspective of to tackle the China. So both are very, very important. Next is who launched the Indian Space Association to help boost space technology in India. So you have to remember this organization, Indian Space Association, and it is launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So A is the answer. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually launched this Indian Space Association, which is also known as ISPA. It is a private industry body to help boost space technology in India. And remember, this body will participate and work with the ISRO or Indian Space Research Organization and other stakeholders of the government and its agencies on the issue of policy around space domain and technology. And it will act as a single window and independent agency on matters related to space technology. So in simple word, you have to remember this body will definitely boost this space technology because it will act as a single window and independent agency on the matters related to space technology, both government as well as its agencies. So it is launched by Narendra Modi, and remember this body's headquarters is in Bengaluru. It was established in 2019 and its chairman and managing director is G. Narayanan. And remember about ISRO. ISRO's headquarters is in Bengaluru and its head is K. Sivan. G. Satish Reddy is currently the Director General of DRDO. You can also remember this. But DRDO headquarters is in New Delhi. K. Sivan, ISRO's headquarters is in Bengaluru. Don't confuse it with DRDO and ISRO. Both are different organizations. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched this ISPA. Next is National Mission for Clean Ganga has signed a MOU with which institute for septage management and capacity building in the fecal sludge. So this National Mission on Clean Ganga has signed a memorandum of understanding with one institution which is known as WASH Institute. What is the meaning of WASH? Water. W stands for Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Institute, and it is to conduct a series of training to enhance the quality of service of officials in the urban local bodies or ULBs. And training programs are planned in the Ganga Basin states like you can say West Bengal is there, Jharkhand is there, Bihar is there, Uttarakhand is there, Uttar Pradesh is. These are the main states of the Ganga Basin. And the main objective is to efficiently address and improve preparedness towards the fecal sludge and septage management and wastewater management in Indian towns and the cities. So what is the work of this WASH Institute? WASH Institute will help build a skilled workforce in the area of water and sanitation management. So you have to remember it is National Mission for Clean Ganga and name of the institution is Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Institute. And remember, National Mission for Clean Ganga Director General is Rajiv Ranjan Mishra. Rajiv Ranjan Mishra. So again, very important. So you can see here, National Mission for Clean Ganga and Wash Institute Science Capacity Building Program for the Fecal Sludge and the Septage Management. So in simple word, you can say it is just to conduct a series of training to enhance the quality of services of the officials in urban local bodies. That's why we are using the word capacity building. Next is government enables imported coal power plants to sell in market, Adani and Tata plants to ease crisis. So this question is not important. It is just an information that even though being the world's second largest producer and consumer of coal after China, currently India is facing a coal crisis. And as per the data of the Ministry of Power, coal stocks of the 135 thermal power plants in India reduced to an average of 4 days worth of coal. So this is just pending, 4 days worth of stock. And remember, Minister of Coal is Prahlad Venkatesh Joshi or PV Joshi, and constituency is Dharwad. Dharwad is in Karnataka. Next is, we are moving to important questions, but you have to like this video, share this video, and subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform. And please join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question: who released a report named as Ecological Threat Report 2021? So very important organization released this report, and this is the second edition of this report. And this report is released by Institute for Economics and Peace. Answer of this question is C. And this institute is based in Australia. Exact headquarters is in Sydney, Australia. And as per it, around 1.26 billion people across 30 countries suffering from both extreme ecological risk and low levels of resilience. And by 2050, this report said that the global demand for food is expected to increase by 50%. So this is a huge concern for all over world. So that's why this report named as Ecological Threat Report of 2021, and it is released by Institute of Economics and Peace, which is based in Australia. Main important is the headquarter and name of the report. So around 1.3 billion people at high risk of conflict and displacement. So this is the concern all over world. We have to tackle this. And here is the one-liner points, and first point is President Ramnath Kovind approved the appointment of Chief Justice of 8 High Courts and transfer of 5 Chief Justices. So it comes under the power of the President under Article 217 of the Constitution, and the new appointments and transfers were recommended by the Supreme Court of India. But you don't have to remember all the Chief Justice of all 8 High Courts because it is a very cumbersome process. But you have to just remember your concerned state High Court Chief Justice only. Next, Reliance New Energy Solar to acquire 40% stake in the Sterling and Wilson Solar. So 40% stake, it is worth almost 3,000 crore rupees. And this acquisition by Reliance New Energy Solar Limited is on the lines of the Reliance Industries Green Energy Initiative to make India as a clean energy manufacturing hub globally. And remember this, Reliance New Energy Solar is a fully owned subsidiary of Reliance Industries. Next, Territorial Army celebrates its 72nd Raising Day. This is important. And this rally was flagged off by the Director General of Territorial Army. And who is the Director General? It is Lieutenant or Lieutenant General Preet Mohinder Singh. Preet Mohinder Singh from India Gate. It was established by the Territorial Army Act in 1948. In 1948 on 18th of August. And it was formally raised by the first Governor General, Indian Governor General C. Rajagopalachari on 9th of October. That's why it is celebrated on 9th of October. And it was raised on 9th of October in 1949. So that's why we are celebrating the 72nd Raising Day. And since then it was celebrated as a Territorial Army Day. Director General is Preet Mohinder Singh, already told you. And motto is Savdhani va Shurta. Savdhani or va Shurta, in English you can say vigilance and valor. Vigilance and valor. Next is India topped medal tally of ISSF Junior World Championship. I already told you that 17 golds won by India. And India and Nepal collaborate to cross-border train service, already covered. World Mental Health Day 2021 celebrated on 10th of October. So this is again one of the important point. So it is to create awareness about the issues of mental health and educate the general public on the importance of mental health. And World Mental Health Day is a global initiative supported by the World Health Organization. It means I am talking about WHO and the World Federation for Mental Health and its member organization. And you can remember green ribbon. Green ribbon is a symbol of mental health. And the theme is mental health in an unequal world. What is the theme? mental health in an unequal world, in an unequal world. So just remember this, and we are moving to now question of the day. What was the question of 10th and 11th of October 2021? When was the General Insurance Corporation of India incorporated? Again, very famous question. So remember, LIC was incorporated in 1956 and General Insurance Corporation of India was incorporated in 1972. Exact date was 22nd of November 1972 under the Companies Act of 1956 as a private company limited by the shares. And GIC was formed for the purpose of you can say controlling and carrying on the business of the general insurance. So this is 1972. So question of the day is very simple. Now we are covering the world geography question. Which of the following is the largest lake in Africa? So we are talking about African continent. You have to tell me which is the largest lake of Africa. I am waiting your answer. So please like this video. Every student who is watching this video, please like this video. Please share this video at least to your one friend, and please subscribe this channel. Please subscribe this channel. And press this bell button and join our Telegram channel for the official notifications. And it is a Fierce Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section definitely. And don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.